All right, welcome back. Brandon Media Strategies. Okay, what are we going to work on today? It is logo development for the Custard Festival. Again, you have one of 5 names to choose from, and we need to develop the logo. So here are the 5 names. Let me zoom in on that. Chillville, Big Brain Freeze, Sunday Streets, Scoop MKE, Alpine Peaks. You can work on one name only. You can work on 3 different names, 2, like however you want. But I need 3 distinctly different looking logos to present to the client. It's sometimes easier to just concentrate on one moving forward. So I'm going to concentrate on Alpine Peaks. I've tried to cycle through these. Actually, I've only done it 3 times, but sometimes I play around as well. And let's show you some of the working process and what I'm working on now for this, and just some drawings I did. I will do the same thing I've done in the past. I will continue to work on this and show you my development, hopefully show you what I do, my design process, my design tricks, tips, and everything that will help you along the way to help you be like, how do you come up with this? How do you think about that? So let's delve back into the archives. This is what I'm working on currently, but let's delve into these archives, things I've found in the past. I wasn't really good at saving all my work when I would work on these with students or with you all, but I started to, and I just started maybe a year ago. So like every semester, so I don't have a lot of archive, and it's been easier to archive my stuff. That's another one. So let's see, what did I do here? So this is initial startups. I'm just thinking, what I did this one for? So it's Scoop MKE, or I did Chillville. This was like the first one. Get it out of your system. What is everybody going to think of? An ice cream cone. Or should I say a custard cone? I'm going to say ice cream so many times wrong that I can't believe it. But sometimes, for me personally, what I need to do is just do this, get it out of my system, and say, okay, you drew that, don't go back to it. It's the first idea. It's the most obvious idea. Let's go beyond obvious now. We did it. Everybody, what's the first idea? You say custard, and they're like, oh yeah, waffle cone. Okay, great, we did it. Let's move on. What is this? And I didn't really go through this. Okay, what am I thinking about here? So I started doing letters and starting to think about letters and drips, drippy P. This was an idea for an ice cream scooper, custard scoop. We got to scoop it in. And I was like, oh, maybe if I join this, that C becomes a scoop, even though it's kind of wrong. So an actual scoop would go, let's get out my pencil. The actual scoop would be like this. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit wrong. So that's where we run it with that. But no big deal. And then this. So this was a joke. I was talking to a friend actually, and I think I was describing this project that I was giving you students, and Alpine became what I would call Alpine. We had that, and I was like, oh, I should work on that. So I drew this really fast, and we were like cracking up about it, but then I went into more detail, and I was like, I'm doing that. And over time, I made this dude. So this was an old one, and this was a lot of experimentation for me, playing around over a couple of days to get what I wanted. I was using references and like all this kind of fun stuff. So I came up with this. I never went further with this. Like I never vectored it and did any of that work. So I left it as is. Let's look at another one. And a lot of these, I always talk about that. A lot of these, I do these at, I do a lot of these at night while I'm watching TV, or like when I have free time. Okay, so then here's another system. So I'm working. I'm just drawing letters. So a big part of what I do is I just sketch out and draw letters, just willy-nilly, just like, here's some letters, scoop, scoop. Here's tall ones, here's circle ones, here's squared up. And then I started going like, what if I break these letters down into actual just shapes? All right, there's an idea there. And then I was working with Chillville, and then I did it like some script, I did some plain letters, and then I just scribbled out some really chunky fonts, just playing around again, just moving through this, trying different things. Here's a little bit more of like working with that scoop. I think I was trying to work with a different program as well. These are in Photoshop, but I was like trying some of this, like you hold it and it'll make a curve for you. That wasn't working quite right for me at the time. But just again, playing around, like that's all I'm doing. Here I did the fat font again, and all I did was I got a really big brush, and I got out of these, and I did I think I had like something like this. And then you just make it real big. Oh, okay, that's fine. So like if I made a new, and it just like a really thick and just went like this, that's all I did. Like what if it's gonna be really thick and fat? So I played around, and then I came up with this. And I was like, okay, maybe there's a direction here. Maybe I'm like figuring something out. More playing, starting to like, okay, develop some color on it. Here's back to all pint. I was really, this was this was more of the logo to go with that dude I drew, just cleaning it up. So like sketch, tighter. And then I think I was working with the A and the L and getting that perfect. So I started, adding white and like, does it need to be thicker, thinner? And all these are just like Photoshop layers. And I started working in Photoshop because we have the drawing screens here. And I have one. And it's recent to me. It's not something I've been doing for 30 years. God, I wish I would have been doing it sooner. Because you can do this. I can just sit there and draw and just hit a new layer and draw again, hit a new layer. Look at this, like this messiness, but I'm like just figuring something out, and then I turn it off and I create a new layer. But then you can keep all this stuff in the background. Like, what's this big mess I got going on? There we go. Here's another one, like Chillville. Maybe like the V was a scoop of ice cream. I kind of like that. I forgot I did that. Maybe doing some serif letters here. Then I was thinking like these, I was like, should I make it look like they're crystal? But that's not conducive to, or I think when I wrote crystal, maybe I was thinking snowflake as well. But we're doing this in the middle of August, on a Sunday in August. Maybe I don't want snowflakes. Maybe that's the wrong thing. And then I did the scoop with the ice cream, the O's as custard scoops. And then maybe the S was going to be a pint, pint of ice cream. Oh, and there, like I refined one of the chill, like maybe I want something like that. And this is all just playing around, just, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try this. I'm not on the computer yet. And you can see none of these are necessarily fantastic drawings, but I'm not in the computer looking at text, trying to pick the font, like I'm freeing myself from that point, because then I can just bring these sketches in right into Illustrator and then find the stuff to fit it. So you can get way more of these done in this approach than you can jumping into the computer and being like, this is what I'm going to do. Like it's too robotic. Like learn to like scribble. It's just scribbling. I can't draw. It doesn't, you don't need to draw. So here's a couple, I don't know what this is a ribbon. I don't know what I was going with there. Then I started working, was watching this other designer, and he does a lot of this carry through. And I'm like, I'm going to copy him for a bunch. Like, I like what he does. Just squaring off some letters, just to like here's a square ear, here's a regular ear, here's, tall, short. you know, here's a dance of different letters. There's a capital V, small I, small L's, and then a capital E to like square it up. Working with the E, like, do I want it uppercase or lowercase? Maybe I wanted it lowercase and it can square it off. So easy, just like super quick, 10 lines, you know, like just scratching away. Here it's starting to get refined. So I know in my work on this one, I started to go in a direction and I was really watching what somebody else was doing. And my goal was to emulate what that person was doing. I have the same goal for this semester as well. When I get there, I don't know, why did I leave that? Oh, I think I was like, I don't want to just double the same letter. And so I took the letter and I turned it upside down and reversed it. Like I hate when two letters are the same, exactly the same next to each other. So I don't do that. I make sure I don't do that. Then we're getting into it. Like here, I'm like, okay, let's add some drips. And then I'm starting to like really kind of work out my ideas, slowing down. Here's a Vil. And they're moving all over the place because sometimes I just start drawing in one area and I start drawing in another area and I'm not referencing myself. But that's okay because this is just, these are parts that start to move and start to then fit together. So here we got it, you know, like I'm getting closer, getting closer. What do we got here? Oh, I'm starting to do layers here. Oh, and I had a change. Look at that one. So the I became a 3-stack of custard. That's not in this back one, is it? Let's see. No. So that came later. So like as I was developing this more, I had that idea. So all these ideas change as you like kind of go and you just kind of, it's all just playing. I'm playing around. I'm getting a sense of what I want to do, where I should go with this. Now I'm at this. You saw me just write stuff out. A big thing that I do in my design process as well is I just simply write out words. So zoom in, and if you write out the word, then I just kind of sometimes I just like to pick a color. Sometimes I do in black. Sometimes I pick a color. Just to differentiate. I pick like a classic color like that, you know, cause like the masters sketched in umber. I do a lot of sketching in blue. But then, okay, so I'm gonna pick a brush and I'm gonna pick a favorites. I got these brushes. You can get free brushes from Adobe. They're really rad. I use them. They actually work like pencils then, like, you know, the harder you press, the better it works. But I'll go and like, I'll do my first all cap. I want to see, even though they're skinny, what every letter looks like. All pint peaks. Then I'll just simply move over and then do it again. Now the A could also be that kind of A. Well, that's horrible, but you know, that A. But for some reason, I'm always drawn to this A. And then what is peaks? And sometimes just writing it out, you get like, I was like, oh, and I'm going to do that. Like, oh, okay, well, there's an idea right there. I almost just extended that. I stopped and then I thought, well, why didn't I just extend it? Another one is then lineup of letters. Like, what lines up with what? So if I just did see, now look at that. Ascender, descender. And then, you know, like now I like want to see like how I get like, No, 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 no. Let's undo that. Don't go there. Like I want the peaks. So this is then if I'm like, I want to play and I made a new layer and I'm going to go peaks. Now I can go to the move tool and I'd be like, okay, do I do, like, does this work? Where we start to combine some letters, like, is anything matching up? Do I want this double stack of the P's? Like, does it become unrecognizable? Is it workable? Like, does it turn into like, I literally just like looked up at a different screen because this is a double screen. And I was like, oh, does it look too much like a bee then? Like, am I turning it into beaks? And you lose that idea that it says peaks. So I'm looking at that. Like, I'm using that. How can I grab it again? Oh, am I in the wrong way? Oh, there you go. I don't know what I was moving them. So that's where we're going. And then I did this one. I'm kind of digging this one. The reason I like it, it's reminding me of like an A-frame. And then sometimes if you go to ski resorts or snowboarding resorts, like all their buildings are like A-frame. It's an A-frame. It's like really tall peaks, so the snow falls off the roof. That's why they build them like that. And then so like areas of heavy snow, you have really steep roofs. And I was like, oh, that works at that. Then I create this, and it's starting to look like a mountain a little bit. And so like that could be working. And then so I just went through, house, A-frame. Did it once, and then I had it up, and then I went up and then down, drew in that. And then I was like, I want to work with this. This is kind of fun. I haven't done my third one yet. But I was like, oh, what if it's a pint? Where we're talking about Alpine Peaks, and we want people to get the joke. So like, what if it's a pint of custard being open and there's mountains in it, a little mountains coming out. Like you see the top of the lid. I don't want it lidless, because then it just looks like, I think having the lid is part of that. And here, I just started drawing. I was like, oh, this isn't the pint. I was like, oh, I have like one at home. Like I looked at it, like it's taller and skinnier, just kind of correcting that and the correction. And then I was like, I want to make the lid coming off. That lid is the wrong way. Like I think I want the lid over here and being able to see the inside, which would just be, and then the easy part is just a new layer. And even if I'm drawing in the wrong color, and like, it would be like this, like more like that. And then let's say you could see the inside curve, maybe. That's really poor, but it's giving me that direction that I want to go, and then I can reform that, or it looks like it's falling onto it. And then what if Custard Festival was here, maybe, or it's going to be down here. Let me show you some other work. I'm going to show you some further developed work, and I'll show you this again in the future. But that whole idea of keeping, where it can go and what are we going to do. I just have all these open. And then, so this one, it's just refining some of those ideas, but in vector. So I did that fat Chillville. Let's turn everything off. Let's go layer by layer. Oh, let's actually do the eyeballs and not just the locks. See what we have. Okay, these are my sketches. I brought them into Illustrator so I could sketch over them. I don't know, I have a blue square. Here are some developed, and I just took circles and shapes, and it's circles on circles. That's all it is. And then copy and paste. And then you can see the development from this to this to this. I think things get fatter and fatter. We got nothing there. Nothing there. Those are probably whiteouts. There's that big fat chill. There's that, but I ended up using those. So this then slowly became this. And again, it just all hand done. Like I wasn't relying on like finding a font. I just drew it fat, bold, like it's what I wanted. And there's skills that you have to develop. And again, as I tell you this twice a week, come on in. We have drawing tablets. We have drawing screens for you to use. Come on in. Use these to your advantage. What else did I do? Oh, Alpine. I think I worked on that in this one. Oh, what's this pink? I got something hidden. Oh, a big mushroom cloud over there. But I think I did take this Alpine and like worked on it vector wise as well to get it. I didn't know if I was going in that direction. Here's more. Just playing with different brushes and rewriting Alpine 4 times. I rewrote it slowly, like looking at, are these 2 loops? Can people discern, is this an A or are they going to see 2 loops? Is it going to be what I want it to be? And you just slowly, again, a lot of this stuff, I'm watching TV, hanging out, doing stuff. Here's what do we get on this one? Zoom out. This again, brought it in. There's not much development on this one, but then we see it on this one. And then this is where I start to differentiate the 10 different versions. Remember, we're going to do 10 versions of our logo. So like here I have this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. And I wanted this to all be really hand done. Like I purposely did it hand done. I was really in that mode of like, I want everything to be hand done. This was new to me, this drawing on the screen, and it opened up so many possibilities in my life because I wasn't drawing on a piece of paper, bringing it in, and then trying to use the pen tool. I could just go directly with the pen tool, and it's sensitive to like your touch, so you get tapers. Again, I'm just saying. But then you can get all these varieties. And here's just like another working system of all that. I think everything's on. Here's that Scoop MKE that I originally, here's like the poster that I went with it. This is really, now that I see it, I'm like, phew, it's not the best. But, here it is. And I was doing color palettes, and I was like checking my fonts, and I have like 4 different color versions of the logo to work in different spots and different places. Here it is. And then I added that date and a drip. It's big into the drips. I'm big into the drippy drops. But then as I continue, I want to continue working on this. I'm drawn to this billboard I keep seeing for the Turf skate park when I drive home. And I'm like, oh, I kind of want something big and chunky and solid like this again, but more angular than I've done in the past. And I've been looking at some of the work by Aaron Draplin as well. And I'm using this as like design, like inspiration. He does big, fat, chunky designs. That's what he's known for. Really thick line. And I'm like, I want to do that. I haven't done it yet. So why not do it now? I'm going to do it. I want to do it with Alpine Peaks. So if I go back now, let's go back to Photoshop for a couple minutes. And I'm not going to do a 3rd version here. All right. I'm going to do my 3rd version, just like you all have to do. But like, this is the one. This is the way I feel like I'm going in this direction. But there's a lot that still needs to be figured out when you do it. So some of those you can change, so now I'm in this color right there, which is fine. And then I go back to the brush. Oh, God, I hate when it does that. Cancel. And, I can, where do I refine this? Like, if I wanted it chunky, I'm going to have to really space things out. So maybe, do I just try now like this and slowly like
The layer one was created above the white layer, yep.
make thick,
One is above the white layer, so.
and then I'm just going around it, and I'm on a different layer. Oh, I may have to like cap that,
Add to a clipping that.
you know, and then
Hawaii layer. Okay, he wants you to click this. I know.
look at that. So just slowly, just kind of taking these, and then of course I'm gonna have to adjust. And now
Create clipping mask. That, see that little arrow there?
I think
That means
like
that
there's an
it's
idea.
being
Like,
flipped
do I
to
have it fill
just this
in?
layer. To this Hawaii layer. So it's not affecting.
I think I like that. And then we just do the same.
It's not the eyeballs and the-
Now, like, should I work with that somehow? Like, or is that like a dorky, you know, line here? Whoa. Like, you know, I'll have to, you know, beautify that. So I don't know if I necessarily want the P to have a peak in it. And look, for some reason, my E and my A. I kind of, you know, I'm just going to simplify. Instead of drawing the whole letter, I'm just going to do a triangle. And then the S. And then I just turn off a bunch of this stuff. It's so simple. Then I can look at that again and be like, okay, I might have to space things out. So this may have to be bigger, longer, like this way to this way, in order to get Alpine Peaks. And then, of course, Frozen Custard Festival is going to go underneath. I can't see why it wouldn't. This is a really great direction. I'm happy with it right now. I can't say it's, you know, really great, whatever. I'm happy with it now. Now, let's work with these lower cases. What can we do? Let's turn off everything. Except for, I want the white background on. You know, and this is the point where I don't label layers when I'm just doing drawings. Let's try this again. Let's do it big. Really look at those layers. No, I really messed it up. What can we do? And sometimes just drawing over it again and again while you're thinking is what you do. Reset's bugging me. All right. Or maybe that, you know what it is? Maybe this line is what, it's something with this line now. I'm like trying to think, is there a reflection, like,
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right.
All right. I don't know. You know, like, I'm always like, you know, we develop a style, we develop some things that we like, and we can kind of always do it. I'm always like, I'm really big into this, like joining letters all the time, and yeah. But then this P, if a P, was it? Can we do that? You know, like, can I do that and have that stop? And
So it's prompting you to say that what's important, and that's fine.
Yeah, this one approved.
okay, how's that looking? You
So
know,
if you want to add anything to the name, it's got to be before the dot.
but it's not lined up.
You'll call it Hawaii.
You know, like, so would it
Always
be?
have to change these names.
And this has to be more rounded. I don't want it to be like a capital P. Just scribbling. just scribbling, right? And now this is what I do. And you have something on in the background, listening to your music, watching a movie with audio descriptions. Do I join those?
So in theory.
Once again, I love the join. Like maybe I'll just join those.
But just to be on the safe side, I go to file.
I lowered it. Again, just scribbling for fun. I don't care. I'm not keeping this. You know, I keep it to show you all, but this is just like sketchbook crap. This is you need to let yourself go and be able to just do messy stuff to get your ideas out. Nobody's gonna look at this. I will. I want to be notified if anybody gets to Leonardo da Vinci status, and people are going to be coming to look for your sketchbooks to put in museums, and then I can say I taught you. But if not, don't worry. Like this circle, this A is going to be too big. That's what's bugging me right now. Oh, now? Okay, so then I got this circle. Like, what do we do with that at some point? Point. Huh. All right. I don't know. And then maybe erase some of this. I didn't change my eraser. I think my eraser flow is not doing. Oh, my eraser would be at 100.
Oh, because you're not signed into this account. So just do it.
So maybe now I go back and erase that. You know what's even quicker? Just flip this to white and just do a white out.
Okay.
Because it's mine. Undo. Okay. I went over that.
So go back to 3x3 grid, drive. You want to sign in, I guess.
Okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. I just want to see it without some of the script, That's all I'm doing. So I'm just going and just like taking out the stuff I don't need to see really quickly. Again, I'm just scribbling. This takes, a minute, having some fun scribbles. And then I can take this, and because it's in Photoshop, we can drop it into Illustrator and then work from there. So let's go to normal screen view. And there might be something here. I think that could work. I just love the interaction of items when you see them, like, it's very cohesive. So I'll work with this. I think that's a good one that it came up. So my three are, I'll develop this one a little bit. Oh, undo. I'll develop the Custer one maybe a little bit more, and I'm gonna work on this, but I have this feeling this is the direction I'm gonna go, but this may win out if I want to do like that big chunky design that I was looking for. So that's the process. That's what you go through. And this was only, sure, I showed you work that was older that I'd done in the past, but this page and this page of work, there's less than an hour in it. Yeah, darn near less than an hour. And so if you probably if you took 2 hours and only worked on 3 logos and just played around, you'd be amazed at what you got. You'd be amazed at how much time that really is, especially when you're just working and scribbling. So again, have fun, go crazy, try new things, look for inspiration out there, look at other people's work. Don't just do the standards. Play. You're going to get so restricted when you're working with clients. This is your time to be free. Try crazy stuff. I am here Tuesdays, Thursdays from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. Come in and work with me. Have that one-on-one stuff where I can really work with you, and I'll help you get what you want. Don't just live in your house and not leave. So Again, I'm always around. I'm here to help. And yeah, let me know if you have questions, comments, or concerns. All right. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.